And I had such a good weekend, too. One of the best NFL weekends for fans out there. It was looking really good, too, guys. And I had one of the biggest laughs I had in years. I don't want to go into why, but it was just hilarious. Things were looking really good. And then Monday happened. It's Gerald Glassford coming back at you here for the Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcast. I'm so sorry, guys. This just sucks. But Pop Culture Cosmos, I really want you to check it out because Josh Peterson and I really go into it as far as the Golden Globe Awards, who won, who lost, and some of the surprises they're in. CES 2026, I talk about some of the things I saw that intrigued me the most as far as what we cover on the Pop Culture Cosmos. So hopefully you get a chance to check that out. And our most anticipated in pop culture for television, as far as the streaming shows, television shows, also as well, movies and video games. So please go ahead and check out the latest Pop Culture Cosmos. It is now available on YouTube on the Pop Culture Cosmos channels. Also, if you're a member, you can see it actually probably after this show would probably be the best thing to say, on the Lakers Fast Break channel. Or as far as audio, take it for a drive. It's clean, unlike this show most of the time. It's clean. It's a good listen. It's an hour straight up. Listen to it while you work out. Josh and I really go over some great subjects. It's the Pop Culture Cosmos, available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Also, as well, I want to give a big shout out to Drip Show at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Please follow him today. Then you can get some of this great looking stuff. See this behind me? Luca and LeBron, the canvas art there. That was our offense today in Sacramento. So, yeah, that was our entire offense, guys. So they're in. If you want something that looks that good, or the pillow, the Kobe pillow I got right here, or also as well, he does hats, t-shirts, posters, and more. Go ahead and reach out and give some love to @TripShop on Instagram and Twitter. Also as well, give a shout out to the Lakerholics. Laker Tom, I think he's still in and around the Northern California area, so he probably threw something at Sacramento. So you check out what Laker Tom has on the mock trade marketplace at Lakerholics.com. And I know Jamie Sweet is trying to give him some jabs now and then. So join in all the fun at Lakerholics.com. Joe Soro with the Joe Soro Experiment. Please go ahead and like and subscribe. He does a great job there. I know he's probably one of the most angry persons on the planet, because not only did the Lakers lose to a 9-win team, he had his favorite football team that he covers quite religiously, the Pittsburgh Steelers, get their butts kicked in tonight's NFL playoff game, final wild card weekend, ending with a really bad loss for him. So he's not exactly the happiest guy in the world right now as well. But give him a shout out and give him some love.
You're awesome.
At, of course, the Joe Soro Experiment. And then, of course, John Costa, Clutch Talk of Lakers Corner. Man, he does such a great job. I really root for that kid. Please go ahead and make sure you go ahead and give him some love as well. El Rosto, what's going on, my friend? I was going to hop over. True story. I was going to hop over to the Discord to join up with you guys. What's up, Craig? How you doing? There's Joe. Again, Joe, Dad, if you come on tonight, please let me know your thoughts on Tomlin. I would love to hear your thoughts on Tomlin tonight. And I'll leave it at that. But I was going to hop over to the Discord, and then I saw, as far as the game is concerned, dipping into a 20-point, as far as 15-point, 12-point. Lakers coming back, and then falling behind once again, double digits. Yeah, didn't think it would be the, most fun atmosphere tonight, because a lot of angry people are in the chat, especially when you lose to an underwhelming team. But I'll start off with this for tonight's game. Started off, probably the result for this game, December 28th, because on December 28th, after the game, Dennis Schroeder, from all reports and as far as it's concerned, went into after the game, tried to go in the locker room and get a piece of Luka as far as what was said, because they were talking smack to each other, trash to each other, and it really went after it. And the league, in its infinite wisdom, decided to go ahead and eventually got around to suspending Dennis Schroeder for 3 games for the incident, which coincidentally, started last night, but rolled over into tonight for them as they faced off again, because they played back to back, I believe, against Houston and now against the Lakers tonight. Yeah, as far as Dennis Schroeder, he was not available, but maybe that motivated this team. Whatever was said and done at the crypto.com arena, maybe that was said and done as far as for motivation tonight, because they certainly looked motivated, because after the Lakers, who honored LeBron James with a patch with the number 23 seasons, et cetera, on it, all well and good. He and the Lakers got off to an early lead, but halfway through the first quarter, the momentum started to change, and changed drastically as the Lakers, despite Luka Doncic and his 42 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists, just couldn't get it done. The guys alongside him, LeBron James tonight, after that early outburst, just kind of faded into okay for the rest of the game. For him, 22 points. But the problem is the Lakers' putrid shooting continues. 22% overall from 3. Absolutely terrible. And for the NBA's worst 3-point shooting team, to tell you how bad this defense tonight was, again, the NBA's worst 3-point shooting team, 65% from 3 tonight, 59% overall, 80% from the free throw line were the Kings, and they just never let up on the Lakers. They led at the half, took a third quarter lead that extended to 20 points. Lakers did come back, had it down to 7, but it wasn't enough, as they just kept the Lakers at bay and pulled out a 124-112 victory. Again, in another situation where the Lakers could have moved up in the standings, they have yet again failed to do so. So I want to hear what you guys are doing tonight as far as I'm concerned. Just another terrible loss on the docket for the Lakers, and we've seen to say that a lot lately. Really disappointing. What's up, Serge? Great to have you here. Jason says we lost because of Joe Soro. I don't know about that. I just think, again, a lot of defensive issues off the bench. Jackson Hayes had a nice game, but really they just don't have the kind of firepower. Malik Monk, who's been really much maligned, Malik Monk, who's been benched. He's had DNPs in the past month. He's been resurrected in recent games, and today they utilized him well. He had 26 points off the bench. DeMar DeRozan had 32 to lead the Kings. Russell Westbrook, who's found a new lease on life, 22, 5, and 7 for him, 5 turnovers. But hey, again, he got it done tonight. Zach LaVine threw in 19. Maxime Renaud got in 11. But yeah, today their bench, Malik Monk was the bench production tonight, 26, as the Lakers bench could not match as far as that same kind of production. And the shooting, absolutely abysmal. It was actually below 20% for most of the game from what I was looking at. And it was just really a disappointing effort. Again, Rui Hachimura was supposed to be available coming off the bench, but decided it was a DNP CD for him. So I want to hear your thoughts on that as well. But again, the Lakers lose 124-112. Very disappointing. They fall to 23-14. They're now mired in that junk of a Western Conference race. They are still 5th place as of now, 8.5 games outside of Oklahoma City Thunder. They are tied, essentially, with the Phoenix Suns. Put that into context, guys. We are now tied in the games back behind the OKC Thunder with the Phoenix Suns. So, yeah, that's not a great sign. Houston is having an even worse time than us, but not by much, as they have fallen to 7th. So, yeah, definitely want to hear your thoughts on that, because absolutely the Lakers are struggling right now. And, again, the defense has a lot to do with it. Bench production is a lot to do with it as well. The starters tonight, Marcus Smart, Jake LaRavia, still looking for them because they were nowhere to be found. They were not really good at all tonight. So everybody who was getting high on Jake LaRavia, maybe taking a couple steps back, because 2 points for him, 1 of 7, 0 of 5 from 3. Marcus Smart, 31 minutes, and he scored one more point than us. 1 point, 0 of 5 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3. LeBron was 0 of 5 from 3. Luka wasn't a sharpshooter either, but that's been his whole season so far. 2 of 9 from 3, although he was 16 of 25 overall. He was more efficient inside the arc. DeAndre Ayton only got 7 touches, 13 and 13 for him, but clearly wasn't the defensive presence that we were hoping for tonight. But yeah, it just OG Life says Lakers are looking like a play-in team. Yeah, it's looking like that. Only Houston is dropping faster than the Lakers right now in the Western Conference, so that is absolutely of concern. JJ Redick says, I blame Joe Soro for saying this would be an easy win. There is no easy win for the Lakers right now, seemingly, even though the Lakers did have an easy win versus Sacramento previously. But maybe there was motivation, guys, with what was said and done after that game, with what Dennis Schroeder going after Luka Doncic in the locker room area, and the fact he got a suspension for it. Maybe that kind of fired up the Sacramento Kings, because they've beaten Houston and now they've beaten the Lakers. And while their season is not going to turn around by any stretch of the imagination, it's still, these are games you have to win. These are games on the schedule you have to say clearly they have to win, and they did not tonight, and it's very disappointing. You said embarrassing. Couldn't agree with you more. I'm not going to sit here and tell you differently. Embarrassing is the key word there. Xbox, what's up, my friend? Yeah, I was going to, like I said, I was going to join you guys on the Discord, but I saw the, I had the score updates, and I had my tab with the game actually in view, and then I'm like, it's maybe not the best time to come and say hi, everybody. So on the Discord, so yeah, it was not exactly the greatest game to be there, because again, when you lose to a team like this, it's not really that good as well. But I do want to mention as well, I've got an NBA observations I'm going to hear post for our members here after the show tonight. So it will play tomorrow for everybody else. But if you want to be a member, $2.99 a month, you get that show early. Caleb Ponce and I covered a myriad of topics. And Mark, you might be glad you might be hearing my thoughts on the foreign all-stars, or the international all-stars, for the, as we talk all-star balloting, we talk about John Morant, we talk about the most disappointing players in the NBA, and we talk about a ton of NBA subjects on NBA observations. Hopefully you guys will like that when it pops up for members here later tonight, or also as well tomorrow here on the channel for everyone else as well. Adam says LaRavia and Smart are not good enough offensively to be starting. It's a consistency, Adam, because LaRavia, I mean, this is the guy who pops in 20 plus points a game, over a couple games. Things are looking good. A lot of people are riding high on Ravioli, as we call him here, Adam. And it just, again, Lakers just have a hard time finding consistency from its role players. And a lot of that can be attributed to roster construction by Rob. Now role players are a lot of times inconsistent just by their very nature, because the opportunities they get come off and on, minutes come off and on, et cetera, et cetera. So by the very definition, these guys are not always the most consistent. Even if they're having a good season, they're not always the most consistent of players. But yeah, this is just a wild thing where one day you don't know what you're going to get from these role players after LeBron and after Luka. Right now with the Austin lineup from one day to the next. And again, even if you got a decent game offensively from DeAndre Ayton with 13 and 13, it just still looked like, as you saw with the defense, he just cannot anchor a high level defense right now for this team, which is disappointing. But again, he's not on a huge contract. He's obviously looking to get paid or looking to move on. So we'll see what happens if the Lakers want to go ahead and retain him as they look in. But is he the answer? I'm kind of thinking that it's not the answer right now, unless you get a lot better defenders around him. And I'm sure that with Rob, that's going to be the case. But Jeremy, what's going on? Absolutely. It does really show how you, as any team out there, can lose to anyone at any time in the NBA season. And again, if you do not play at that level, if you do not focus as a team, if you do not have a coach that gets you prepared, then guess what? These things happen. This is what my good friend Jamie Sweet is probably talking about in his chat with the other Lakerholics as a Admiral Akbar game, because it's a trap. And it was a trap today, and the Lakers fell into it as the Lakers lose 124 to 112. Once again, they're still in fifth place in the Western Conference, essentially tied with the Phoenix Suns in the Western Conference, now 23 and 14. Looking forward to seeing what they could do to try and rebound from this. But yeah, it is really disappointing what's going on. But they do play the Hawks coming up tomorrow. So we'll see if they can get back off the schneid and into the winning column tomorrow against the Atlanta Hawks. But someone said, hey, I saw your comments earlier, wanted to give you a compliment because you're right on the money. You're right on the money, my friend. If the Lakers were playing in China, which would definitely well done, someone. Well done. But I just wanted to give you some props as well, my friend. And again, Stell, JJ is the problem, period. You mentioned your first comment. I saw that as I was coming on the air. Your first comment, Stell, JJ is the problem, period. And it's been asked about me, asked to me about JJ. And, Joe and I have been like all over the map on JJ. One week it seems like he's all right. One week it's not all right. I can just say for myself that it's how long is that act going to be lasting for the Lakers? How long is it before they tune it out? His rhetoric, his stuff that he says, his inexperience as a head coach seems to come out from time to time altogether too much during the season. He does have some things that he implements that have been promising, that have been uplifting, that have been helpful to this team. And obviously the start of the season, he was punching a lot of the right buttons. But right now, with the Lakers defense, with the Lakers just as a rotation right now, just as their role players, it's just not working. And could it be something that he's not connecting with the locker room right now on? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, if you say he's part of the problem, anytime a team struggles, you got to look at the entire organization, how it's built and how it's coached and how they play. And you have to, when you lay out the blame pie, you have to make sure it's distributed properly. Even to the star player like Luka, is he getting the ball enough to the right people in the right places at the right time? Is he taking too many threes for a guy who's struggling in the season? I mean, a lot of you guys have said that, and I cannot sit here and argue with you. Is he making the right decisions? I mean, sure, the 42 points tonight will look good in the box score. That's great. That's awesome. But it is still a big L. If he'd distributed more to the guys, could they have gotten them in the swing of things more often? Because you look at the touches, Jake LaRavia had 7, DeAndre had 7. He's been complaining about his touches. Marcus Smart had 5, and then you see 3, 6, 6, 6, and 2 for the guys coming out the bench. Although one of them was Bronny James, who everybody's going to go crazy for now because he hit 2 3-pointers and say, "Oh, you got to go ahead, play him now." Come on, guys. He has the best game of his life right now today in 2 minutes, and I know that a lot of people are going to just want him in the lineup forever now because of it. So I'll just leave it at that. But it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us. Cannot thank you enough. JJ Redick says most of the unplayable players Denver had are all playing better with their coach. Yeah, Adelman's done a pretty good job. I mean, you're all-time, one of the all-time best players has been out of the lineup, and you're still fighting for a top 3 position. A lot of the credit has to go to Adelman on that. It's just that simple. Adam says, I'm not a fan of Double J either. Yeah, again, right now, is his act getting tiresome? Is he able to navigate the team through this funk right now? We'll have to wait and see when it hits tomorrow against the Atlanta Hawks. Marcus says LeBron was bleep. And Mark, I cannot disagree with you. After that start, where he got up to such a hard start, it pretty much went downhill from there. And 0-5 from three, and again on the defense, this was old LeBron. Whatever 23, whatever that patch is that they put on with the 23 on it for 23rd season, it must have like sucked up his powers. See, because we talked about where the LeBron James, you have the old LeBron James, then you have the fiery, spunky LeBron James, and today it certainly wasn't the fiery young LeBron James. So we'll see if he does play tomorrow, because it's a back-to-back. What kind of LeBron James we're going to get? JJ says, "Why is Denver winning starters?" Again, a lot of that credit you could go to the coach and the way they are mapping things out. Right now, it's the Lakers are in the front, JJ, and you could point the fingers again at a lot of different places, and JJ is definitely one of them. But here's a good man indeed. It is, of course, the guy. Please support, if you're in the Southern California area. I know I haven't touched on this enough, but with all that's going on in the world, you need to support a small business. Please support Sin Blades, SinBladesWithAY.com. Their thing is, recently here in Vegas, I've seen a lot of advertisements for synthetic turf, video and radio, whatnot. It's like in the past couple of weeks. It's like I notice it's a noticeable thing because you don't hear it before and you don't see it before. But when I see the work, when I look at their work is not comparable to SinBlades, SinBladesWithAY.com, all legit. It is, of course, a guy who, again, I give him credit here today. We had our weekend. I had a good laugh over it. It is what it is. It's in the past. But I'm giving him credit for it. His teams were terrible today, and I'm really hoping he can go ahead and let everybody know why. It is, of course, my friend Joe Soro. Joe, good to have you here. I'm truly sorry about the Steelers. Can I ask you this, though, as an NFL fan, as a casual NFL fan, put the Chargers game and the Steelers game aside, this may have been one of the best playoff weekends ever for just watching NFL games.
Yeah, that's arguable. That's decent, I'd say. The reason why I think it's been good too is this is the first time, and I've said this a few times, that there's really no clear-cut winner. The fact that Carolina played as well as they did against the Rams, I didn't think it was going to be competitive like that. I thought the Rams would probably win like 30-10 or something like that, but Carolina was almost there. They almost won it. And my prediction for the Super Bowl is still kind of up in the air. I have no idea how it's going to play out. If I had to choose, though, if I had a gun to my head, I'd say I think a Rams-Buffalo Super Bowl would work. Or Chris Berman can finally have his dream Super Bowl, and it'll be a San Francisco Bills Super Bowl.
Well, that's who I picked on last week on ISFF. I took the odds, really good odds on San Francisco, by the way. And I was tempted. And Purdy, I like his story always. I've told you that on the air. They're getting it done, but with Kittle out, that may have just got their chances right there.
They've been playing well with all the injuries they've had, but I can only imagine how this team would be if Fred Warner was still playing, which they're saying he's going to come back, but I wouldn't come back if I'm him. That's dangerous.
I agree.
Coming back from an injury like that so quick. Nick Bosa, and then Kittle. If they had those guys, man, it'd be a clear-cut favorite, and they'd probably win it all. But I don't know. The Packers won a Super Bowl with the most guys on IR in 2010, but they had Aaron Rodgers and really good receivers and a good pass rusher and a good defensive line. So it's kind of what everybody wants in terms of the parity police. We don't know. Everybody's going crazy for what Chicago's doing right now. You got the Rams with Stafford, who's probably going to be MVP. You have a 6 seed, Josh Allen, who can go into the Hall of Fame. If he wins a Super Bowl, bring a Super Bowl to Buffalo after all the history they have at Super Bowls. There's a lot of stories that would work. If Sam Darnold wins a Super Bowl for Seattle, that's an interesting story too. So there's a story for everything. I think it's going to be New England, Buffalo in the AFC Championship game. I think that's fitting. I think that's what the NFL wants. A lot of jokes towards Buffalo this year. They were the division champs up until this year. The joke was that they had that gap between the New England Patriots being great and sucking and didn't do anything with it, and now New England is back up top in the division. I think that should motivate them to likely take them out in the AFC Championship. I think that'd be fitting if that's how it plays out. And then who's gonna win the Seattle, Chicago, San Francisco Rams game? Well, I'm pretty sure the NFL wants San Francisco versus the Rams. Another division 1-2, right? So I'd say going with that, let's just say it's going to be Niners, Rams, Buffalo, Patriots, and then I guess San Francisco could beat the Rams, but I'm going to go with the Rams. They have the better quarterback and a little bit more healthy. And then Bills go to the Super Bowl, and that's what that's going to be. Who's going to win that one? I actually don't have a clue yet. I'd have to see how things play out.
And for tonight, we'll get into Tomlin a little bit more later on because I do want to hear your thoughts on Tomlin. If the end of the road.
Well, Aaron Rodgers shit on all the Twitter heads and all the people that just now I just finished watching. I had to watch all of it just because I had done a 45-minute show after the game, and I wanted to hear what Aaron said, and I kind of knew he was going to support. He was supporting LaFleur too. LaFleur has a little bit more leeway. He's just become a head coach this recently. I think Aaron Rodgers' heart is speaking. I don't think his head is speaking about Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin this is the 19th season he's coached the Steelers, and he's only been in the playoffs 5 times. And he hasn't won a playoff game in 10 years. And he's been getting destroyed the last 7. That's not us playing Monday evening quarterback. If these were all competitive, I would maybe give it a little bit of about, I guess, some heads up there. Maybe not a lot, but still, because again, it's a results business. But Mike Tomlin has shown numerous times that he is incapable of winning. The Houston Texans today were practically giving the game to the Steelers tonight. C.J. Stroud in particular. 2 fumbles and an interception that resulted into 2 field goals. And 2 of those was on the Texans side. So what do you want me to say? What do you want me to do? You have another diva receiver. Am I supposed to not look at the pattern that's going on here? Tomlin can't control DK Metcalf. Couldn't control George Pickens. Did you hear anything out of Dallas with George Pickens, by the way? Did you hear that Schottenheimer was dealing with him behind the scenes? Not once. Yes, he's an idiot still. He was doing stupid stuff on the field. But you didn't hear anything from Schottenheimer. You didn't hear anything from Jerry Jones. You didn't hear any of that. Why? Why is it in Pittsburgh you hear about the shit he's doing? Why is DK Metcalf an idiot? Why was Antonio Brown dealt with? All these stings, all these stuff. And again, I wish I could sit. It likely wouldn't happen in public, but I would love to sit with Aaron Rodgers and sit down with him, just him and I, having some water and really, really having a heart-to-heart. You like Mike Tomlin. I get it. But I need to know what you're seeing that I'm not. You're there. You're the quarterback. You're the big NFL player. I'm not. But is it really that complicated? Seriously, you want me to go down the line here, Gerald?
No.
Tonight they lost 30-6. Last year they lost 28-14, and that score is not even close to what the game was. They got destroyed last year. They got destroyed in 2023, 31-17. They got destroyed. They didn't make the playoffs in 2022. Got destroyed in 2021, 42-21. They got destroyed in 2020. This is after they started 11-0, 48. They let the Cleveland Clowns score 48 points on them. They didn't make the playoffs in 2019 and 2018. 2017, they lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They let them score 45 points. Their last win was in Kansas City. Oh, sorry. I gotta give you so in 2026, when they did win a couple of playoff games, they got destroyed in the AFC Championship game by the New England Patriots. 36-17. You see a pattern there, Gerald? Either they're getting destroyed by double digits, or they're allowing the opponent to score 45 points in a playoff game.
And I'll just leave it. I'll just finish it with this, Joe. When it comes to Mike Tomlin, at what point do results matter? I mean, you are a big results guy. It's your motto, and it's definitely something that's tried and true. But at what point do results matter? And I think that Pittsburgh, they need to address it. And
I want to make this clear. I know he's never going to hear it, but I know he's never going to hear it. At least not for right now, unless I get famous down the road and somebody pulls this out of the archives. But I really wish I could talk to Aaron Rodgers and really sit down with him face to face. I know publicly he can't do it, but he's not that dumb. I know for sure if I had him, I sat with him one-on-one, I think he would understand what we're saying. I've seen every game, guys. I've seen every single game in the 21st century, every Steeler game. Those losses that they had in playoff games against New England during their kind of the 2000 run, even the loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars in 07, that at least it was, that was a good team that they played, right? They lost these games against great players, and then, Tom Brady lost to Mark Sanchez one year. It happens. Joe Montana lost to the Vikings in 1987 at the peak of the Niner dynasty in a lot of ways, right? It was kind of like a jump start because they lost that year, and a lot of it had to do with the fact that there was a strike that might have kind of messed things up a little bit, but they came back and won in 88 and 89, right? Like there's nothing to bounce off of anything. It's the same thing every freaking year, over and over and over again. When does it get tiring? With Aaron Rodgers, without Aaron Rodgers, with Doug Hodges, without Doug Hodges, with Ben Roethlisberger, without Ben Roethlisberger. Well, what's the freaking common denominator? You keep getting these new offensive coordinators. Oh, we got to fire Arthur Smith. Well, who was it before? Matt Canada, we got to fire him. Todd Haley, we got to fire him. Bruce Arians, we got to fire him. You got to fire everybody except the fucking guy that's been there the whole time. The whole time. Common denominator is Mike Tomlin. This league, this media, this everything has overrated this guy. I can't figure it out. I talked about this on the show just not too long ago. Why is George Seifert not considered a Hall of Fame coach? At least he won with Bill Walsh's team and with his own team. He won 2. Why don't anybody talk about George Seifert? We're talking about Mike Tomlin being a Hall of Fame coach. I got to sit there and watch Tony Dungy wax poetic, Mike Tomlin, and all this bullshit. And by the way, Tony Dungy has no business being in the Hall of Fame either. No business. He couldn't get Tampa over the hump. They had to go get John Gruden to win a freaking Super Bowl. And John Gruden isn't that good either. What is it? What don't we know? I know that most of the Twitter heads, armchair quarterbacks, are sloths, slobby, overweight chumps. I get it. Totally get it. A lot of them are just every week, fire this guy, fire that guy. We're not. Some of us are not those guys. I'm not out here trying to fire everybody. But at some point, and we're going to tail into this with the Lakers tonight, because I got a different. It's the same thing, except I got to reiterate it. Hasn't gone on as long as the Pittsburgh Steelers situation. I mean, what are you doing here? If you're the Arizona Cardinals doing this, you're probably okay. This is the Pittsburgh fucking Steelers, okay? You wrote the NFL the last half fucking century. 6 Super Bowls. Steel Curtain. Troy Polamalu. James Harrison. Some of the greatest athletes, not just football players, that have ever roamed sports, played for this franchise. You have 6 Vince Lombardis in your trophy cases. Are we supposed to sit here and be happy with mediocrity? No. And Aaron Rodgers, I love Aaron. I respect from up and down, and totally get that you're supporting your boy. But your boy sucks. He can't develop. His team is ill-prepared 3 or 4 times a year, and always ill-prepared during the playoffs. Always. They almost lost Super Bowl 43 in the fourth quarter because for some reason this guy does not know how to coach at the end of the games. Very similar to Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan has this problem in San Francisco. That's why he hasn't been able to win anything. And it wasn't just in San Francisco. It was in Atlanta too. Couldn't close out the New England Patriots with a 25-point lead late in the third in the Super Bowl. What do you want me to say at that point? Is it luck? Is it chance? If it keeps happening over and over again, at what point are you going to figure that out? And it doesn't matter what the tools you're using. What tools are you using? You're using all these different tools, and the result is the same. So what, if you're a problem solver, what are you going to go to next? What? You go to ownership, who enables it, right? And the guy that's in charge of your business, your team. Now, it's different in with the Lakers. It's different with the Lakers. Tonight's game, unfortunately, I only got a chance to see the fourth quarter. But it seems like the fourth quarter was pretty much the same as the first through the third. The Lakers, in a lot of ways, are like the Steelers in that they keep trying to put together something that's not going to fit. But the good thing is there's hope. The new leadership is transitioning in. This is going to get changed. It's going to happen. And the NBA, unfortunately, has a strict salary structure that you can't just let people go or trade them for something without having to literally do 200 things in a contract. So the inevitable downfall of the 2026 Lakers is not likely going to happen now, even though they lost tonight. It's likely going to happen probably in April when they start getting into the playoffs, and then that's when things will probably hit the fan. But at least there's hope at the end of this season. $100 million worth of contracts are going to drop off. The Lakers are going to have a clear slate. I feel very comfortable in feeling, especially if it really ends badly, I feel pretty comfortable in that the management's going to get rid of a lot of the trash that's in the front office. And when that starts to happen, you guys are going to start getting excited, because then they're going to start putting the right people in there. How they build it from there, again, I still think that they could put some things together this summer with the availability of some valuable players. Nothing drastic, but I think ultimately maybe next year will be the one that puts them over, and you can say, okay, well, this team's going to basically make a run for the next 5 years. I believe that's what they're working for.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Gerald Glassford along with Joe Sorrell. It is, of course, the Lakers losing 124-112. Lakers are now 23-14, still fifth place, but tied as far as the games back with Phoenix. We had a very large lead on at this time last month. I'll just leave it at that. It's no longer a lead between them and us right now in the Western Conference. Only Houston is doing worse than we are as far as the free fall is concerned. And here today to discuss this latest Lakers performance, a good man indeed. Please go ahead and stop on by Lakers Corner, wherever you get your social media, for his 3-minute report, which he's already done. He had his young lady by his side. It is a good man indeed. It is, of course, Mr. John Costa. John, great to have you here. I'm not throwing any stones at any one player tonight. No issue, Fando or Connect or Smart or Ravioli, or because the list, it just goes on and on. Today is a game where you had to win against a 9-win team. You didn't seem very motivated. Maybe they had some motivation because of what happened on the 28th with all the smack that was talked about that Dennis Schroeder got suspended for. Maybe they really came across a motivated team for that. They did get a win over Houston as well, so they are lucky to get 2 free-falling teams on their docket on the schedule. But tonight, the worst shooting team from three-point area shot 60+%. 65% from 3 tonight. The worst shooting team in the league. People talk about the Lakers defense and whatever. Anybody they threw out there tonight wasn't solving the problem. Jackson Hayes, okay, did some nice things, but Jackson Hayes, that what you see tonight is about the maximum you see from Jackson Hayes. Okay, nobody else gave it their maximum, and Luka, again, 42 points tonight, looks good on the stat sheet, but I don't know. He's just not having the trust in his teammates, because when he tries to do so, it's not working both ways right now. And again, JJ is guiding this mess, and I'm not sure he's guiding it pretty much different than the Titanic was when they went into an iceberg all those many years ago, my friend.
This is bad, guys. Honestly, I'm gonna be 100% honest. We just don't have the right tools. We don't have the right tools. As Joe was talking, I thought of the analogy of like we're trying to cut steak, but we have like a plastic spoon. We don't even have a plastic knife. We have a plastic spoon. Like we don't have the right tools at our disposal. Like as we all know, we've all been watching LeBron James for a long time, some longer than others. I mean, I was 4? I was 4 when LeBron James got drafted. Some of you guys probably remember LeBron James in high school, but so that's cool or not, right?
He didn't have a 23 patch then, but he had one tonight.
So corny. That shit is so corny. But anyway, the NBA just trying to make some more money. But anyway,
of course,
I say all this to say, if you've been watching LeBron for a long time, you don't even have to have been watching him since 2003. You can know that he has historically been great with shooters around him. Like that's when he's been at his best. Luka Doncic, he has been at his best, and he is at his best when he has shooters around him. Because that great players like Luka, LeBron, I'm gonna be honest with you, they're not even worried about the one-on-one matchup. They're looking at the help side. They're looking past their primary defender because they know that they're gonna get past his primary defender irregardless. It's where does the help come, and the help always crashes in the paint. They just crash inside as good help side should do. As soon as Luka gets a paint touch, as soon as LeBron gets a paint touch, and we're throwing it out to fucking Marcus Smart, who's going 0 for 5. We're throwing it out to Jared Vanderbilt, who's the fact that we are even asking Jared Vanderbilt, the fact that I'm even having to say, oh man, here comes Luka Doncic blowing by his primary defenders. Kick it out. Now we got Vando in the corner. That is insane, y'all. The fact that that's even a roster construction is crazy. Is crazy. And no, Hema, it's not always blaming others. I don't know. You can't humanly possibly ask me to blame the man that had 42 points tonight, nor LeBron James, because it was LeBron James and Luka Doncic by themselves.
Well, LeBron outside 0 of 5 from 3.
Absolutely.
After that hot start, he didn't exactly light the world on fire.
He didn't, but you know what? He lit the world more on fire than a Jake LaRavia that went for points.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
What are you basing it on? But I'm just saying,
Exactly.
as your number 2 guy, I just
not good at all.
He looked 41 tonight.
He absolutely did look 41. You know what's
the team?
What's up, Joe?
The team. Look, I saw only the fourth quarter, but everyone reiterated that I have to still watch the first 3 quarters when we're off the show. If you watch these guys move, this is a team sport. These guys don't move well, and they don't move well because they don't fucking care. And the message up their ass is not working. And it's not just a Laker thing. We talked a little bit about this during the Discord, the chat while we're watching the game. Who's doing that anyways? Who can you say in the NBA has their team motivated? It's easy to play well when you're OKC, right? They have 10 deep, right? But even they're struggling now, right? They're hitting that wall a little bit. Greatness is not a priority to really anyone in the NBA. It's just not. There used to be a time where these guys really cared about winning. They were making millions of dollars in the 90s. Don't give me about the money thing. Don't tell me about the money. Well, they're making 70 now. Doesn't matter. That's inflation. Look, making $10 million a year, $20 million, $15 million, $20 million in the 2000s, that's a lot of money. At that time, that was what 70 is now, 60, 50, whatever. So it's not the money. But you look at the people who played. This is one of the things I used to admire about, and this was from college, even college. You look at somebody like Chris Webber when you watch the 30 for 30, the Fab 5 30 for 30. He cared about winning so much. Anger, crying after those games that he lost in the title games. Seeing how he reacted when he lost to the Lakers. Seeing what happened when he got injured in 2003 and the Kings had no chance at that point to go deep into the playoffs. You're telling me that Chris Webber is worth probably $50 million. So what? Is it money? Shaq cared. Even though he was kind of flamboyant and, wanted, to have fun too, he cared. Kobe cared. Duncan cared. AI cared. These guys cared. They wanted to win. They wanted to play in the All-Star game and have it be competitive. This culture does not. So you have to make a decision on what you want to support. Do you want to support the past? If you do, I suggest you go download old games and watch them. That's it. Believe me when I say this. I was just watching the documentary of The Birth of a Dynasty. You're seeing those guys in Portland. You're seeing those guys in LA, man. They're all rich. They're all millionaires. Arvydas Sabonis, Rasheed Wallace, Kobe Bryant, Ron Harper, Robert Horry, Shaq. They're all millionaires. Man, they were tooth and nail trying to win those freaking games, man. Those days are gone. I'm not talking about just in the playoffs, too. I'm talking about in the regular season. Even though they weren't winning 70 games, they were still battling. You felt like they were trying to play for something. These guys don't give a shit. You look at the way they played in the fourth quarter, and things got close for a minute there. They were down 7 against the Kings. This was their 10th win. Guys, let me say that again. This is the 10th win for the Sacramento Kings on January 12th. The season started in October.
That's fucking crazy. And
you got your ass kicked by the worst three-point shooting team in the league that looked like they were Larry Bird all over the place. That's a you problem. That's a desire problem. And that's also a break in communication with J.J. Redick. J.J. Redick, it's looking like, and it was always kind of festering in there, but you wanted to give it a chance. You don't want to be unreasonable, right?
Be a cup half
But-
full type guy.
But he doesn't have the temperament for the trade, or this is the wrong team, which it is in general. But he's probably better off coaching a young team that is more apt to listen to him. A team that has young talent that doesn't have a lot of pressure on them, like a Charlotte team, hell, even a New Orleans team. That's probably where JJ should have started. Starting with the Lakers was a bad move on his part.
A really bad move.
It was.
the
And the thing is, if he had come in like Steve Kerr, where Mark Jackson set the stage for him, and again, I'm not against the fact that they got rid of Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson has a personality that doesn't have any compromise. They have to go that route. Steve Kerr is a compromising guy. He's kind of a wuss, and that's the point. A lot of times company men that have a little bit of brains, which he does, are perfect in those moments. And that's what it was. It's the perfect time to put that coach in there, right? Kind of like Phil Jackson, even though Phil Jackson's a great coach, 2 times he had teams that were at the cusp. He came in and took them over. That's what he does because he's best coaching talent. Some guys are better coaching mid-tier talent in a group setting, i.e. Larry Brown type coach. But I don't know if I could compare JJ to Larry Brown, but he'd be better off coaching a young team, not the LA Lakers, in between a rock and a shit stain.
Yeah.
And we got to get rid of that shit stain, and it's looking like it's going to happen in about 3 months. We got to get rid of that shit stain.
Are you referring to LeBron as a shit stain?
No, not LeBron. His surroundings are, yes.
I got you. Yeah, I mean, I do think we need to get rid of
Rich Paul, look, I have ignored on YouTube this fucking Rich Paul talking to Max Kellerman. I don't know who the hell thought of putting these 2 guys together. Like, these guys are popping up all over my feed, and I'm like, what the fuck is? I don't want to listen to fucking Rich.
Too, honestly, it's kind of funny.
Like, seriously, I gotta listen to this fucking idiot just say, let's trade him for Triple J.
Yeah, I spoke about that on NBA Observations here. That I'm
like, you stupid fucking moron. We're in this situation because of stupid asses like you that are calling the shots.
Yeah.
Now, I want a Triple J if you had to get a defender on the team.
But he's playing and for the money he's
at the
making
expense
right now,
of more talent. I'm talking if they want to drop the contract, because we have expiring contracts. So I just I've been going back and forth on this. Is it when a team doesn't win, you want everybody fired? Because I really was sitting down and thinking about that, because I was getting on Dave Roberts for so long until he won. But then again, that's not true. He won in 2020, and then they ran out of gas in 2021, and then it resurfaced in 2022 when they lost in the first round, then a first round again in 2023. Like, I don't like shitty decision makers and bad losses. If you are losing and it's competitive, it's different. If you're competing and you're losing, you don't look like a complete schlep. It's different. But what is it about these teams that I've mentioned tonight where they lose in such shitty ways? You can see the ill-prepared team. You can see the laziness in the team. Again, I want to remind everybody of this again. 2021, when the Dodgers lost to the Atlanta Braves, they were playing their asses off and they lost. There's a difference. And I get mad. I got mad in 2022 because you have the lead and then you pull a pitcher out when you probably shouldn't have, and you ended up regretting it. It's a cause and effect thing, man. If you watch it long enough, you're going to learn something. I don't need to be in the clubhouse to know when a guy is pitching well. It's right there. Football's a little more difficult, although I got to hand it to the NFL. Their end zone shoots have been really, really handy the last few years, especially with the Steelers, because today people were getting angry at Aaron Rodgers not being able to throw the ball quick enough. I go, have you not watched the Steelers this year? These guys aren't reading their second and third tasks. That's why Aaron's been pissed off the whole year, even though he's had a good. He said he had fun this year. Good, have fun. That's fine. I'd rather be miserable and win, but that's me. But the reason why is when you look at the end zone camera, you can visibly see there's no separation. Not from Metcalf, not from their tight ends. No one. Where do you want him to throw it? Quarterback still needs something. So the good thing is I don't know what the hell's going to happen with the Steelers, because if this fucking ownership doesn't figure something out with Mike Tomlin, this is never going to stop. At least with the Lakers, it's over in 3 months, maybe 3.5 months, depending on how far they go in the playoffs. It's going to be over, and then we're not going to have to deal with this anymore. That is what's exciting. And some of you are so scarred by the Genie Bus era. You still can't fathom the fact that the new leadership is them. I'm telling you right now, Mark Walter and the people he's going to have build this thing are going to do it right, and you will be very happy. So hang in there.
Hang in there, buddy.
Yep, hang indeed. I got something for you coming up here, John, from your good friend Black. But 124 to 112, the Lakers lose 23-14. For the Lakers, they are fifth place in the Western Conference. Did Black's first original statement came up right here? So this was from Black. This is the product you get when you have a fraud like LeBron James leading the team. So, John, I will let you.
You know what's hilarious?
Black.
You remember what was hilarious? Black was nowhere to be found in these last couple of post games when Joe and myself and Gerald and everyone, we've all been like, damn, like LeBron James just putting on a masterclass. Like they fucking up. And you know what's funny is that Black just only shows up on bad games like this. But I like it that he's here because you know what? He can
our ratings do go up when we lose.
Hey, come on. We here for the ratings. But I like the fact that he's here. One, because thank you, brother. You helping all of our channels. You helping the watch hours. You helping everything. So thank you very much for that. But the other reason I like that you here, brother, is because you could see that we keep it real around here, man. When LeBron James does good, we praise him for it. We give him the glory he deserves at times. But when he plays like ass and when he does shit like how he did tonight, I mean, he started off pretty well, to be honest with you. It was a Luka-led and LeBron-led first quarter, and I'm thinking it's going to be like that for the rest of the game. Lo and behold, that's not what we end up getting. But I say all that to say, I love the fact that you're here, though, brother, because you can see that we honest around here. We're not the LeBron sexuals, right? The fanboys of the LeBron sexuals, but at the same time, we're also not an absolute LeBron hater, which seems like that's kind of what you are on.
Well, Black, I mean, I agree with you, Black. When John was actually having his health issues, he was here in games that they won. So I am going to give him.
Black was okay, but Black wasn't.
But he was looking for you. He was looking for you. But I have to respectfully tell.
I want to know where Black was. I want to know where Black was during the game the other day when Joe himself, we were all like, man, God, this is a LeBron fucking masterclass, and we dropped the ball. Or I want to know where he's been in the last couple of games when LeBron James has been playing very, very elite. To be honest with you, again, nowhere to be found then. So, I mean, you can't blame someone that only shows up in times of talking. So
I'll say this with LeBron again.
I'm here regardless.
As we've said, John, and as you said, Joe, that LeBron at 41 I'm sorry. It's just father time
That's crazy.
tapping on your shoulder. You are just going to have the days when you look like you've turned back the clock and the days where the clock looks like it's turned back on you. And Joe, today was one of those days. I mean, what was it? The previous game where he was like getting in everybody's face and looking like frisky LeBron and wanting to will this team to victory because Luka was struggling from inside the arc, and it didn't happen. Today, it just even with the extra day, that's what's disappointing because we had talked about, Joe, that it looks like 2 days off really helps LeBron. Well, he had 2 days off today, and
Gerald, just real quick, just want to say something real quick.
Uh-huh.
Somebody in the chat said, I have no idea who said it, so I don't want to say the wrong name, but somebody said LeBron has not had a masterclass or a good game. I want to, maybe somebody defines masterclass
certified beats
as certified beats. I hope you like making beats, brother. But
he's had some 30-point games.
Yeah. Please check this out because I want to define what if masterclass is like 50 and up. Then okay, no masterclass, but absolutely has had great games this season. That without him in that game, we would not have won, and have also had some games where if he been there, we would have won. So, and
it's also to tie into where, of course, Joe, that LeBron's first NBA game was on the road at Sacramento. So they obviously wanted to tie all that in. But there might have been some motivations because of the fact of what happened on the 28th, where Schroeder, after the game, went into, after Luka in the locker room and whatnot. And obviously it got to the point where the league, a couple weeks later, finally decided to go ahead and press some action on it and suspend Schroeder for 3 games. Maybe they were more motivated when the Lakers came up there today, but still, it's not an excuse. They're a 9-win team, Joe, and these are the trap games you have to win in order to go ahead and be there at the end in a place where you think the Lakers can challenge for any kind of title. But as you and I have said, and John has said all season, we just don't think that this team right now looks like that.
Just such a stupid decision by the NBA. Other than Kings and Lakers fans, and maybe a purist, who's watching this game tonight? You would have given you could have given a lot of people an excuse. Ooh, I want to watch what happens with Schroeder and Luka. Instead, you suspend him because he's going to the locker room.
And they sat on this, Joe. They sat on this.
Such a stupid. I loved Adam Silver for a decade. He has been a bumbling, stumbling chode the last 6 seasons. What the hell happened to this guy? He lost his balls after COVID. All of it. For what? For money? For gambling? Like, what is it? What's going on here? Why would you suspend Schroeder? Your league doesn't have enough eyeballs on it. You don't have any contracts with regional television stations. Baseball has that problem too. I don't understand what these guys are doing. I'm not going to blame all of sports and television for this because the idiots 30 years ago who kept bitching, I just want the channels I want. I just want the channels I want. I don't even watch half the channels on cable. Well, bitch, now you got to go to 7 subscriptions because you're a stupid ass. It used to be just satellite, cable, and then you'd be able to get something on the antenna if you were smart enough to figure it out. Now I got to go to fucking Peacock. I got to go to fucking Amazon. I got to go to freaking Paramount. I got to go fucking Fubu, Tubi. I don't know what the fuck they are. There's like 15 of them now. If I didn't have a super box, I wouldn't know where to go. I'm good with that shit.
That shit is good.
You reap what you sow. You all sow this. And I'm talking to Silver and all these guys. When you compromise quality for convenience, this is the shit that happens. This is the shit. It's a microcosm. Sports is always a microcosm of society. When you sacrifice quality for convenience, this is the shit that happens.
Once again, it is the
NBA has been
Lakers.
cooked.
There you go. Losing tonight, John.
Unfortunately.
I think when it comes to LeBron, obviously at 41, he cannot give you that winning basketball each and every time out as far as what he once did or close to it for a consistent level time. He has played well. Any 41-year-old still be able to score 30 in the league. You got to give him his props to some extent. But today was a day where it just wasn't there. And Luka 42 today, it's great on the box score and whatnot. But Luka, at this point in time, he should not be totally moved off the radar as well as far as the blame pie is concerned, because he needs to play a better brand of winning basketball himself. Because you look outside of LeBron, the number of touches, the number of shots that everybody else had, and I don't believe anyone got more than 7, if you look at it, John. And yes, I know they were absolutely terrible and got roasted from the 3 as far as what they were shooting compared to what Sacramento was shooting. But and it's not just DeAndre Ayton, complaining about the touches and whatnot, but maybe if Luka just takes a better look and sees around him as far as what's going on with the rest of the team, and instead of just always saying, I got to put it all on myself, could just try to go ahead. If we're down double digits, try to find maybe someone that can spark this team and play alongside of him and start scoring baskets alongside of him. But if you're not giving those guys enough opportunities to do so, maybe that's a little bit of a problem. That's something he has to work out. That's something he has to provide, that same kind of winning basketball we saw in that great run he had with the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, and I think that the thing that's tough though is with the Dallas Mavericks, like they had honestly a betterly constructed team built around Luka Doncic, right? Like they had a team that was more built, and it just made more sense when you're just looking at basketball wise and role players and good players to put around Luka. So I think it's kind of hard to compare on that. Now to this game personally, Gerald, I'm going to be honest with you. It was one of those situations, like a real Kobe situation. That's like, look, brother, I think there's a better chance of the ball going in if I'm shooting this bitch double teamed versus you shooting that wide open in the corner. Because we seen, like, how many looks did we see? Jake LaRavia 0 for 5 tonight. LeBron 0 for 5. Marcus Smart 0 for 3. Vando 0 for 3. For the fact that, again, like I said in the beginning, for the fact that we even have to ask Vando or even have to see Vando.
Vando should not be relying. I mean, I've been hard on Vando, but you should not be relying on
you
Vando
should not be relying. That shouldn't even be something that should be even coming out of our mouths as far as like.
Now it hurts in the playoffs because he gets played off the floor, but during the regular season, he's there for defense, and you should find enough offense around him to supplement for that, John.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. So I think that, like, in this game in particular, yeah, I agree with Luka to where it's like, look, brother, like, you clearly not hitting, and I'm probably the best alternative that we got right now. So this shit going up double team, this shit going up triple team, unless you right by the hoop open, this is going up. So and that's in this game in particular, right? But in general, I do think that it'd be great to see Luka Doncic trust the players a little bit more. Again, it does fall into one of those tough situations that it's like, do we want Luka, even though Luka is driving to the hoop? Like today, actually, for example, perfect play. I think it was in the third quarter. Luka Doncic took his primary defender to the hoop, like he does 9 times out of 10. He's going to beat his primary defender. Defense crashed, and then I don't know if y'all remember, but he threw this like overhead pass to the left corner. Vando is sitting in the corner, and I'm thinking, like, any other player, this is a cash shot, like wide open. It even happened to LeBron too, and they both missed it. Now, for the fact that we even have to have a player like Vando out there, like, I'm big on putting yourself in positions to succeed, and you're not putting yourself in a position to succeed by asking Jared Vanderbilt to be waiting out there spotting up for a 3. That's an unlikely outcome, and right now we're just having to rely on that way too much. Like, any team that's asking Vando to shoot 3 threes, I'm gonna pull something up right here. I believe he probably shot more than 3 threes last game as well, and probably the game before. And that right there is the problem within itself. He just shouldn't even be having to take those kind of shots.
And with tomorrow with the Hawks game, Rui Hashimura was held out of tonight's game so he could play tomorrow's game. We don't know the status of LeBron playing back-to-back. And then Luka, I guess after post-game, said he felt something in his groin, thigh area before the game, but decided he was good enough to play. I want to talk to you about this, Joe. JJ Redick. Because, we put the blame pie on Rob for constructing this team. We put the blame pie on the players. But there's some things I have as far as JJ. Obviously, the Rui thing. A lot of people in hindsight will question that because Rui could have provided something off the bench tonight, maybe in three-pointer. I mean, my gosh, you can't shoot much worse than the Lakers did from the three today already. But also, as well, the way he calls his timeouts, he does the Phil Jackson thing where he lets runs happen for the other team, and I'm not sure I like that for this particular team. I don't think it works. Again, in the first half, the Lakers were they fell about 5 to 7 points behind, but he let it stretch out they went on a run and let it stretch out to, I think, 14, 16 points before calling a timeout. And I don't know. When it comes to the long term for JJ Redick, I think there's still a lot of work yet to be done before we can actually say if he's going to be the coach for us long term. Because, I mean, Stella put it, as far as for Ham being a better option. I don't know about that. Frank Vogel being a better option. That same question could be there, but I don't know about JJ Redick's long-term status if he just is not able to be consistent with his coaching as well.
Well, much like a fight is styles make fights, that's a old cliche. For some of the older crowd that has been watching us for the last 6 years, I got in 2021. So I still was here for a lot of the Frank Vogel era games. I think when I look back, I don't think I ever remember clowning Frank Vogel. I thought Frank Vogel was the perfect coach for this team.
Talk about his offensive schemes, and I know Jamie always did, but defensively, he was a better defensive coach than.
Here's how I explain that. When you have LeBron James guiding your offense, it's a LeBron-centric team. So yes, he wasn't an offensive guru, but man, that man could coach defense. And with Anthony Davis missing half of 2021, they were still the number one defense in the NBA. And they hit their stride at the end of the year when he got back until he blew a tire. Frank Vogel was the perfect coach for a LeBron team. And it would have been good for a Luka team too, because Luka and LeBron run their game. They run the offense. They're like Peyton Manning. And Vogel took care of the defense and was a good communicator. They trusted him, at least from what I saw. This is where my disdain for the Buses actually started. The way they treated an NBA championship team of your team. And the fact that half the damn team was injured the following year because Silver wanted to not miss the calendar for 2022 and ended up screwing half the league. It's just... Let's talk about tonight. I watched the fourth quarter, and it doesn't look like I missed anything in the first three quarters, okay? Let's look at the basic stats here. Your two starters who played over 30 minutes scored 3 fucking points total together. 3. That's Timothy Mozgov numbers. Each one averaged 1.5 points tonight. And then Jared Vanderbilt all of a sudden thinks he's Bruce Bowen trying to shoot. That motherfucker went 26 minutes and threw a donut. 3 of your guys that sort of play defense gave you 3 fucking points in a 48-minute NBA game against one of the shittiest teams in the NBA. Think about that for a second. 3, because Laravia's been good at telegraphing the rebounds and the energy here and there, right? And he's been scoring a little bit. Then you have Marcus Smart, who's there for defense. Vanderbilt's there to be defense and energy. Those guys all gave you 1 point each on the average in a 48-minute game. And you wonder why. Then you're blaming LeBron. You're blaming Luka. You're blaming Luka's dad. You're blaming LeBron's sister. Like, at what point are you going to look at the guts of this thing and pay attention and understand why I keep preaching the end of the year is going to get fixed? All this shit, because you're not going to have to worry about the Ruiz and their menstrual cycles anymore. You don't have to worry about Marcus Smart. You're not going to have to worry about any of these guys anymore. The problem with everything right now is these guys don't give a shit enough to care. And no one is calling them out. And the second you call them out, you're an armchair quarterback. You're some dipshit on a podcast. And I totally get when they say that, because everyone and their stupid ass mother has a fucking podcast now talking about their fucking asses and their hair and their bullshit. We actually know what the hell we're talking about. Go ahead.
No, I
He's saying he is a podcast.
My point is, we're not just putting ourselves on TV and talking. We're actually watching, engaging, and then commenting on real things. Not, oh, by the way, I went to the store yesterday, I scratched my ass, and you get 100 views or whatever it is these fucking people do. Like and subscribe. I just scratched my ass at the supermarket. So this is the world we live in. Again, we have compromised quality for trash. And this is just the mentality of everybody. And then you give them money, you give them time. I don't know what people are asking me here. I keep seeing my name pop up.
I think they're asking if you scratched your ass.
Yeah.
Did I? What is that? What you're asking me?
I think that's what they're asking.
Yes, yeah, I think that's what they're asking.
Yeah, I did scratch my ass today, but I didn't put it on TV. I have some shame. The point is our focus is on garbage.
Wow.
When we're commentating on something, we're actually watching something and we're analyzing it and we're using our brains and our memories, and some credibility has to be behind it. You know, there's 1,000 landscape construction companies, right? But if you do it right, you're gonna stand out from the crowd. And that business, you can't go with the trashy guys either. I think that's probably the difference between this and what you see on most of the garbage here. And again, I wish I could avoid this stuff. I can't. I have to be on social media. I have a business. And a lot of the shit that I have to scroll through is exactly that shit. It's garbage. You know how many times I have to put not interested when I'm on YouTube? It's been Rich Paul shit all fucking week because I probably said Rich Paul, right? And this stupid fucking phone hears it and fucking starts sending me Rich Paul garbage. How many times do I got to say on there, not interested, not fucking interested? Do I have to call Google and say, can you stop sending me this shit? I said not interested. Joe, why aren't you gambling, man? You know a lot about sports. You can make so much money.
I would have made money on that.
Make money being a fucking degenerate douchebag. Is that what I need to do? Really?
You guys are all one tonight.
As if I don't spend enough time on my phone. I gotta worry about some fucking gambling site.
I would have made a lot of money on that Carolina game. I'm pretty pissed on that.
My advice. At the end of the day, the Lakers are they're a microcosm of society, and thank God that at least one of my teams sets the stage a little bit better. Good quality players, good quality people, winners, care about winning. Imagine that. So you can't use that as an example. You're telling me a guy that's making 700 million, 365 million, 200 million, 150 million. All these guys that are playing for the Dodgers are all making 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 million dollars a year. Why do they give a shit? How come they give a shit in 2026? Why? Why is it working with them? Why is ownership every time they talk to anybody? Well, we're putting it back into the team. We're going to renovate Dodger Stadium. We just won a championship, but we're going to put $100 to $300 million in this stadium so our fans can enjoy their experience.
It's the ownership.
And guess what the fans did for the ownership in that same year? First time ever, 4 million in attendance. That was a return. That's how it's supposed to be. You give, you get. Quality, more quality. I went to more Dodger games this last year, than I ever had. Why? Because they put a product there because they respect their fan base. They respect quality. This is what the result is. So don't tell me, oh, well, this is how it is nowadays, Joe. Fuck you. How about that? Okay? No, that's not how you got to look at it. This is doable. And again, the same guy that runs this team
is the same one that runs.
It's the same guy that's going to run our team.
Come on, baby.
The Lakers feel fortunate because it could have gone any way. Could have been Mr. Cohen over there in Queens. Stephen Cohen, Mr. I have more money than God. It could be the schmucks up in Southie. It could be Hal in New York. Most of these guys don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but just follow me. So I will always demand quality. I demand quality in my home. I demand quality from my children. I demand quality from my friends, my neighborhood, my vehicles, my home.
Straight up.
So what is this? Why do you have to be trashy? You don't. The buses are trashy. They can't even get along with their own siblings. Oh, it's money, Joe. Oh, it's this. It's that. If that's your excuse, then you're not really. I'm not going to take you seriously. Sorry, it's not. So, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I actually, now that you told me this news about Luka talking about his groin, that is a precursor that he's not playing tomorrow.
That's why I said it.
I will be in shock if he plays tomorrow now.
And LeBron on a back-to-back.
LeBron is not playing tomorrow. I guarantee.
We'll have Rui, John.
LeBron, hey, there you go. But I know for a fact LeBron's not playing. He's not doing the second. He's not doing a back-to-back at 41.
No, I don't think so either. But it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. It is John Costa from Clutch Talk at Lakers Corner and Joe Soro from the Joe Soro Experiment. Go ahead and check out Joe Soro's experiment from earlier today on the Pittsburgh Steelers after their loss as well. But also check out later on tomorrow when it hits NBA Observations. I had one with Caleb Ponzi talking about various subjects in the NBA, and also John Costa's 3-minute report. He was so excited he left. 3-minute report on Lakers Corner there for you. But Joe, I was going to send it to John, but he disappeared on us. We're playing the Atlanta Hawks. Okay, here's John back.
Sorry, I don't know what might happen.
That might have been a hiccup in your internet, which the Talk Studio. The only flaw is that if you have a hiccup in your internet at all, it just bye. But the Hawks are tomorrow, guys, and the Lakers. I don't know who's going to show up tomorrow. I mean, Rui is going to be there because he was held out today. Not like they needed him. But let me hit you with this. Craig said earlier, and Tough, thank you for reminding me on it. He said earlier that he thought that this is the worst bench ever for a Lakers team. I don't know if I want to go there. I do know last year's bench statistically was worse. I'm going to say with the advent of Laravia and Smart, it's incrementally better, like that much, but it is still one of the worst benches in the NBA, bar none. And we saw that tonight. Again, nice game from Jackson Hayes, but that is pretty much what you can expect. Jackson Hayes maxed out Jackson Hayes tonight, 5 of 6, 12 points tonight. Again, he's having a nice season as a backup. The only backup I think that is really having a nice season, as far as consistently, as long as you keep feeding him the ball in those lobs. But as a defensive presence, that's another story with Jackson Hayes. But on the offensive end, it was nice. But there was nothing else. And tonight we saw Malik Monk, who disappears. He's been benched. He's been not utilized, like Keon Ellis, like everybody's favorite trade guy, Keon Ellis. They've both been starters, then they're benched, then they're not playing, then they're coming off the bench. Well, Malik Monk came off the bench today and scored 23 points and was shot unconsciously along with the rest of the Sacramento Kings. Your thoughts, my friend? Is this the worst bench we've ever had as a team?
I don't think this is the worst bench we've ever had, and it's funny enough because I was going to respond to what is it?
Joe also has a question comment from I Am Hungry.
Certified Beats. One, give him a shout out because I agree. Around from the 2012 to like 2015 was like a horrific benches. Like I just think one of our worst benches.
That's why I don't want to say it was the absolute worst.
And yeah, and also to be real with you, I think it looks a lot worse right now, especially because like Reeves has been out for so long. Because to be real with you, I know Reeves is not a bench player, but if you can stagger the minutes the right way, you can have a Reeves or a Braun or a Luka out there to where it could not look as bad. So right now it looks just absolutely terrible. And then also to Certified Beats, bro, you have to use your brain here, all right, brother? I understand that he's getting 55 mil, which should have never happened from the rip, which is something we've all talked about here, which is an issue that started from where? The top of the snake, brother. It started with ownership. This should have even never been a thing, but we got to deal with reality. It is a thing, and guess what? You know what else is reality? He's 41, and he is in a league of 23, 24-year-olds. So guess what? He's just not going to play back-to-backs. Is it great? No, it absolutely sucks. And I hate the fact that it had to have landed on our team because I'm a Lakers fan before anything. But brother, you have to get with reality. And a lot of people, regardless of whether you like LeBron or whether you don't like LeBron, whether you think he's the greatest player ever or you think he's the worst player ever, you have to deal with the reality here, guys. Like if we want to be Lakers fans, if we want to just be straight up LeBron haters, then yeah, we can be delusional all day and be like, oh man, what the fuck? But reality is we're here, and it's unfortunate, but yeah, he's absolutely not playing. So that's why I mentioned his age, bro. He's 41, not playing in the second out of a back-to-back.
So Joe, again, I last year's bench of this decade was probably the worst. Well, it's one of the worst benches statistically last year in the NBA. With Laravia Smart, hasn't gotten a whole lot better. Laravia has been all over the place. Smart has been all over the place. I kind of expected it from Smart. I'm just happy the fact that he's actually on the court and hasn't hurt himself again. So that's a plus, even though he's done nothing tonight as far as out there. Laravia, again, all over the place as well. I don't think this is the worst bench ever that the Lakers have had, because I think that goes to last year as far as for this decade. Again, we'd have to go back in time to see through all the years of all the bad benches for the Lakers. But this bench is not that much better, and that's a big problem for this Lakers team that they, JJ, forever bad or good that you think he is, he just does not have many options when he looks down that bench and sees what's there.
Worst bench. Marcelo Huertas, Brian Kelly, Brandon Bass, Tarek Black, Anthony Brown. Ugh. I think what we should do is we should say the worst bench for a contending team. Because
maybe I prefaced it this decade. I'm prefacing it.
Yeah, for sure. The 2016, 2017 seasons were that 17 season was the finisher for me in terms of consecutive Laker games watched. I had missed a game until the 2017 season. Imagine that. I had missed a game from 2007. I even remember the game that I missed. It was a Detroit game before Pau Gasol got acquired on February 1 of 2008. That was the last game I missed. And I even watched a few, like the first 2.5 quarters of that game, and I something happened. So I'd watched 10 seasons straight of Laker basketball until I couldn't handle the losing anymore. But the bench is not the problem here. It's also the starters. I mean, Marcus Smart and LaRavia tonight. If you want to blame LeBron, you want to blame Luka. Okay, their defense was abhorrent, like it normally is. But if those guys score 10 points each, and Vanderbilt can just drop 8 points, this is a win. These guys aren't even doing the basics.
And these are knockdown jumpers. These are open jumpers we're talking about.
3 points between
Open.
3 guys that on the average just played about 29 minutes on the average together. That's pathetic. 28 to be exact. 28 minutes on the average for 3 players. And they only scored 3 points between each other. That's the kind of stuff where the coach can't tap into whatever you can tap into to get those guys motivated to play. And there isn't really a player on the team that could put a fucking dynamite up their ass to make them play better. I got a kick out of The Last Dance and and this is again part of the Aaron Rodgers shitting on the Twitter world, right? Totally get it. Because those same people that never saw Jordan play a single minute of fucking basketball, they're the ones saying, oh, he's so mean. He was a dick. And no one ever say. He was a dick. But then when you talk to Bill Wennington, Luke Longley, and all those guys, what do they say? John Paxson. I mean, who could have made Judd Buechler relevant? And Bill Wennington and Luke Longley. Huh?
That's
who,
you.
You? Like, come on. So, and then you look at Kobe during his reign, the second half of his reign. He won back-to-back championships without a 75 player on his team. And I love Pau. Pau was the perfect player for him. Perfect. If Pau had come in 2000, let's say 2, I am very, very comfortable in saying that him and Kobe would have won 5 championships because of the perfect fit that he was. But remember this too. Pau was 0 for 12 in the playoffs without Kobe. So when you sit on your little whatever the fuck hater seat trying to justify your bullshit, remember that. Because a lot of people don't know the information either. Most of the people that argue stupid don't have the information. They're just talking out of their ass.
I got Hema. Hema's on my dick right now in the chat. Hema and Black is always on my dick.
But Brenda, well, hold on. I just want to say one thing with LeBron, because Brenda Williams said that come on, John, 5 years ago, LeBron wasn't playing back-to-back. I'm not trying to defend him. I'm just going to state the facts. I looked it up. January 27th to 28th of 2021, 5 years ago, roughly. He played back-to-back. Not but he played back-to-back.
It's important to understand that there are decisions that were made that are affecting things now that won't be a problem very shortly. It's just something you have to accept. And if you're going to keep shitting on LeBron James because he didn't have a game or he didn't do this, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what you want LeBron James to do. I don't know what you want Luka Doncic to do. You want Luka Doncic to be Gary Payton, or you want him to just be a decent defender. Okay, there's merit there. But I'm not going to scream. I'm not going to scream it out of Luka. Maybe it's just not going to happen. But he drops 42 points 33 points a game, drops 8 assists and 8 rebounds. It's not like he's Jared Vanderbilt giving you 26 minutes with 0 fucking points. You see what I'm saying? There's a difference. I'm not expecting LeBron James to ever be anything he was before. It's just not realistic. When we were complimenting the other day, because great players still have one left in them every now and then, and that was the game. And it's just magnified too because it is in his 23rd season. We've never seen anyone like this other than maybe Nolan Ryan in my book. Nolan Ryan played 27 seasons. For those of you who don't know who Nolan Ryan is, Nolan Ryan was a pitcher in the major leagues.
27 seasons?
Yes.
God damn. Who was this guy's name? Nolan Ryan?
Man. Okay. I know that everybody now can throw 100 miles an hour, John, but he was back in the day the guy that could throw the heat over 100 miles an hour. And we'll just leave it at the all-time strikeout king. But John, you were going to mention something before I interrupted you, so I wanted to apologize for that.
I don't even remember. I was mentioning
what something certified said, but no, I was just wanted to correct Brenda.
Well,
exactly what he was doing.
Oh, I laughed at what certified said when he said I would take a one-legged Andrew Bynum over Aiden. Real shit, man. Aiden is really starting to, and you know what's funny, y'all, is that today, like, I was surprised that Aiden came back in the game because there was a minute in there where I was like, it looked like Hayes just took Aiden's minutes. And truthfully, as we've been saying on the last post games, Hayes has honestly been outplaying Aiden, not only as far as like his attitude wise, but I just mean as far as even the little things that he's doing. He's rolling with more of an intent to score. He's being a better lob threat option at this point. And most of all, I just feel like he's not that.
But you're maxing out. I think what you saw today was the max,
absolutely,
the ceiling of what Jackson Hayes can do. The problem is, even though it's a lower res, so the revs are not on that muscle car are not going as fast as what it does with Jackson Hayes. DeAndre Ayton should, just by his very nature of his talent.
Number 1 overall pick, Gerald. We were just talking about this the other day. This guy was the number 1 overall pick, and you know what's crazy? If you look at it like his body of work, he has the intangibles for it. He's not necessarily like crazy clumsy, right?
They're both not defensive minded. They're both not defensive.
As you can see,
presence.
As you can see, the amount of paint points we have gave up is crazy. Even today with the Kings, I think we had 25 in the first half, and people were just literally strolling in the paint. The game we had the other day against the Bucks, same thing. They were just strolling in the paint.
46 for Sacramento, but we
points
scored 58. But the problem is, John, when you're giving up 65% from 3, does it really matter?
Shit, yeah, but you're not going to continue to give up 65% from 3 every game.
You're only shooting 22 in return.
100%. You're not going to. I mean, we're not going to give that up every game. But what we are going to have to do is play some fucking defense and protect the paint, because teams will shoot 65% from layups. So they will do that. They won't continue to shoot 65% from the 3-point line. But I feel like this has been an ongoing problem we've had all season long, in my opinion. So. DeAndre Ayton hasn't been the answer, and Gerald, we said this the other day, but he's
nice for $9 million,
right? That's what I'm saying. He came on and we were like, all right, cool, like for $9 million is good, and then just the way it's been playing out, I'm happy we only got him for $9 million, because then it would be a deeper issue, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Joe,
where is Stone? Actually, I just seen Stone's Twitter. I haven't seen Stone in so long. I need to hit him up.
He's not. Because I sent him a message way back when the buses got fired, and they would clean house on there, because I was saying, hey, there's an opening. I never got a response back. So, Stone, if you're listening or watching out there, we're hoping you're okay.
Yeah.
And I know he announced he was taking some time off of social media, in November, I believe.
Hope he's good.
So I'm hoping
he's a real one. He's a great guy. But also, I don't know if Black was talking to me, but he said, you never heard of Nolan Ryan? No. As y'all know, Gerald and Joe know, because I've been knowing y'all for some years now. I don't watch any other sport besides basketball. So I could really care less. And I'm seeing this guy looks pretty old here, so I definitely don't know who this guy is. But shout out to him though. Hey, 27 seasons. I'm about to be 27 here.
It looked kind of like you were
January,
saying Joe was the kind. You get the way your hand was moving, like it was in his direction. So
No,
I was like,
I got my other little screen right here. I got my so I'm just pointing at my other screen because I got
okay.
I got 2 screens. But
Sorry, didn't mean you, Joe. Sorry. So, but Joe, again, another bad performance with a team. These should be very winnable games. When you're playing a team that's
wins
on a back-to-back, 9 wins, it's not a gimme, but it should be a win for the Lakers, followed up by another struggling team in Atlanta tomorrow. Now I don't even know because the free fall is officially on in LA.
They probably came in thinking they could just win playing half-ass. They kept thinking, they're going to start missing. They're going to start missing. And all of a sudden, there's 2 minutes left in the game. They're still making them. Welcome to the personality of the NBA star.
Damn, we're dropping quick.
Dropping what?
We are.
I'm
only Houston.
Hey, hold on now, Joe.
You got to be thanking Houston right now because they are dropping faster than the Lakers right
Who?
now.
Houston. But I mean, Joe, Jared, we're only a game and a half in front of Houston, though.
Yeah, but they've been dropping. Well, remember they were in front of us for a brief bit of time. They were actually had climbed, I think, to number 3 before the free fall started, John, and they have just been. Yeah, you think the Lakers have been bad? It's been bad there as well, and they have fallen. They're both falling like a rock. I don't know when it's going to stop, but I'm not going to wait for Houston to turn it around. It's up to the Lakers to try and turn around. But I know that we constantly get it. I get constantly inundated with mock trades. Shout out to Pinty and everybody, Richard and everybody else there. Please send me your mock trades. I'll try to go ahead and share my opinions on it. Pinty knows I will do that at 3, 4, 7, 12, 11 in the morning, 2, 4 in the afternoon, seemingly. But are there any trades out there? Because obviously we need some type of injection of life to this team. But I have a feeling, you guys, that we're all looking towards the great bastion with Mark Walter in the summer. Because I know Joe is.
By the way, Nolan Ryan played for some of the shittiest teams the majority of his career, almost all of his career. He won a championship with the 69 Mets, I believe it was his rookie year.
Yes.
And then he pitched for the Angels, Astros, and Texas Rangers, whom were all not good during his reign. But as far as sorry, what was your question, Gerald?
Is there any help that could come on?
Yeah,
we're about a month away.
But what is it? What's the price for that? It's just I'm not giving anybody a first round pick unless it's a star, and I just don't think anybody's getting rid of a star like that at this deadline. It's done. That game is done. That game needs to finish. This team and this new program in the NBA needs to start going, and that is you need to start building depth with your first round picks. And you have to have guys that you're picking that are going to fit the philosophy of what you're going to run. So if that guy that they're going to pick in the first round is still someone that can't at least shoot or play defense, then he's a useless player. If you pick a project at the 20th pick, at the 23rd pick, and you're hoping he becomes something like they did with JHS, you need to be fired and never be in the NBA again. Those days are gone. Okay? Find someone that fits what Luke. So you talked about LeBron's. This is the thing with LeBron, and this is where I always kind of give him a little bit of leeway. He never really had, in my view, even when he was going to the finals in Cleveland, he never really had. even in Miami to some degree. He had Shane Battier and he had the Eddie Houses and all that, but it was like at that time it was just too top heavy still, and they were still able to win. But LeBron didn't really have the perfect team for his skill set until 2020. That was the team. That was the structure where his ability would have been even more. Imagine if he had had that 10 years earlier. A dominant 20-point defensive stalwart in Anthony Davis. And then you had a amazing high IQ backup point guard who you can play with or you can sit on the bench with. And then guys that are awesome on defense like KCP, Caruso, and those types. And they can make timely shots. Imagine if he had had that 10 years earlier. LeBron from 2010, if you just shift the 2010 team to LeBron in 2010, LeBron, there would be very, very, very little of the Golden State run in that decade. And I know it's easy to say, oh, well, of course, everyone that was great would be good in that team. Not necessarily what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that was the team that was perfectly constructed for LeBron James's skill set. In the same way, drafting James Worthy, right? So there was a lot of back and forth. And Gerald, I'm sure you remember this. Do they draft Dominique Wilkins or do they draft James Worthy? Now, when you look back at Dominique's time,
I love Nick, but you're right.
When you go back, see, here's where I think there may have been a problem. Regular season, sure. Parts of the playoffs, sure. But what James Worthy had when they were able to sort of not control Magic and control Kareem, but now it's like, fuck, we can't control all three. That's when you saw
won titles with Wilkins. I still think you would have, maybe not as many, Joe, but
I'll tell you what, they don't win a championship in '89 without James Worthy.
No, I agree with you there. Right? But I think you would lose at least 1-1 with.
Okay, that's fine. Maybe you win one, but I'd rather win three.
Oh no, of course, yeah. I'm just.
I believe for sure. The Lakers win 4 championships in the '80s if they draft Dominique instead of James Worthy. But that's me, and we'll never know. But the point is, sometimes, and again, it's just a lot of the stuff that we say is never going to be able to get proven. So it's got to be something where you remember, or you saw, or you researched. Sometimes if you're not there, and then you kind of put the common sense stuff together. The reality is I can never know about what was going on in the 80s, really, because I never watched. I was too young. But as far as LeBron James is concerned, yes, 100%. If LeBron had his team constructed the way it was in 2020 and in 2021, I don't think there's any doubt that he would have won 6-7 championships during like a 10-year period. Now, Kobe, this is the part that I feel bad for Kobe too, to some degree. Kobe's at his peak. It was during the rebuild in between the two runs. He never really played as well as he played in 8 and 9 and 10. As amazing as he was, it wasn't 03 through 06 Kobe. 03, 06 Kobe never really. He was amazing in 03, 04. But it was still, it was him and Shaq. But he never had for like a 5-year period where he was the one, the team was constructed to play off his skill set, and here you are. Jordan had that. Jordan was able to play into that. Magic, right into the gate, played into that. But LeBron, Kobe, they never really, at their peak, it was still kind of like a struggle. And a lot of that, again, is because of the system. My irritation with David Stern, it topped out with the veto, but he was pissing me off. The moment Jordan retired, he was pissing me off with some of the decisions that he was making, because I feel like he was hindering the stars versus helping the star. He helped during the Michael Jordan era. Not Jordan from an individual standpoint, even though a lot of people say that. Because I don't think Michael didn't need shit from anybody. My thing is you never changed anything in the 90s, but you kept changing shit when the Lakers started winning, and that pissed me off. Implementing the zone, calling games a certain way because of whatever, and of course, coincidentally, you had a crooked ref doing what he did. You were too busy trying to be, Mr. I'm the boss. That's what happens when you're so focused on that kind of stuff. Somebody slipped in through the back door and jacked you another way.
Whoa!
So
Through the back door?
Not that kind of back door. I'm talking about the fucking building, man. You sicko.
Come on.
A lot of times these answers that we have for you, it's hard to just give you a black and white answer because there's too many variables in there. Too many variables.
Real
I
quick.
got two things for you, John.
Okay.
Stefan was asking you about your top five all-time Lakers. And then second question is, and I'm going to put it to Joe, if you're JJ, do you make the switch Ayton for Hayes and put Hayes in the starting lineup tomorrow?
Honestly, I guess for tomorrow, sure you can, but neither are long-term answers.
Ayton's going to brood on that bench.
Oh, but Ayton's going to brood on that. But I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like a lot of times as basketball players, you respond when you lose your starting spot, when you lose your spot, when you're starting to lose minutes, when you're starting to realize, oh shit, this thing is slipping out of my hands quick. So, I wouldn't be opposed to it, to be honest with you, just because I don't think neither are a long-term answer, to be real with you. But I do think that it could give Ayton a bit of a wake-up call. But yeah, neither are really the long-term answer. And I will answer my top five, but just real quick, I just want to say it's so funny because Black, I don't know why Black thinks I'm like this LeBron advocate. Like LeBron, I give him his praise and his honor when he deserves it. And
I think it goes back from you and Joe had,
but Joe himself knows it, and even Joe himself knows I'm just a realist. I keep it real. And I'm all about the numbers. If the numbers don't lie, I'm gonna talk about the numbers, and I'm gonna keep it real. But when the numbers show that you suck, I'm gonna keep it real on that too. But I don't know. I just think it's just funny because we just talked about this the other day, and even Joe said it himself. But anyway, my top five Lakers. So me personally, I got to put Kobe number one, and some of y'all may feel like that's blasphemous, but that's the reason I even started watching basketball. So I gotta have Kobe number one. I feel like it'd be hard to not go Magic two. Didn't get to see much of Magic, to be honest with you, but I'm a big Hardwood Classics guy, and I know how much the game got because of Magic. Like we wouldn't have half of what we have, not only just as Lakers fans, but as NBA fans to watch Magic. And then I got to throw Kareem, Shaq, and then that fifth spot. I'm going to be honest, guys, out of respect, I would go Jerry West, but I really feel like if we're keeping it real, and all respect to Jerry West, I actually met him one time in person at Summer League. Great guy. But before he tragically passed away, God be with his soul. But I'm going to be honest, I just, the number wise is there and he put up a lot of points, but if we really laced him up, like if we could somehow get a time machine, I don't see Jerry West holding a lot of players, to be honest with you. But out of respect, I got to give him that fifth spot.
And as much as Kobe wanted it, I don't know, the drive between Kobe and Jerry West, I wouldn't, they're both some of the best competitors ever to play the NBA game. I both wanted to win more than anything. I don't know who I'd go for as far as the drive, better player, yes, Kobe, but what I'm just saying, who would want it more? Don't ever underestimate what Jerry West was all about. I mean, this guy losing made him physically ill. He could not watch games, John, once he left the game. He could not watch after he stopped coaching. When he was GM, he would not watch the game because it made him so physically ill. Because you can never underestimate the competitiveness of someone like Jerry West. But again, better player overall, more talent. Yeah, I can understand Kobe. And that's a great list. That's a great list indeed. But Joe, would you make the switch with Ayton and Hayes? I mean, just even if it's just to light a fire under Aiden right now?
No, I don't think it matters. Plus, that's not Jackson Hayes' best play.
It worked kind of well in the regular season, but at the playoffs, it looked pretty
That
bad.
went down quick.
Yeah.
As it will with Aiden.
If that's the case, then you should trade him.
Good point.
There's somebody out there that needs somebody like DeAndre Ayton. If that's the case, then trade him. But there's no way. They don't have enough depth to do that either. They'll probably just hope that he kind of cleans himself up for the playoffs, which that's always a bad way of looking at things, but they have no choice at this point. As far as the top 5 Lakers, I have a couple of rules in this.
Here we go.
Because it's the Lakers and they can essentially set up an all-time NBA team with just Lakers, right? Do you have to be a Laker your entire career to be on the list?
I mean, predominant amount?
No, I wouldn't say that.
No?
Like me personally, it's just like your impact on the Lakers. Like it'd be hard to not put Shaq in there of sheer dominance and just sheer numbers and winning, but he wasn't a Laker all the time.
Yeah, but I think because it's the Lakers, I usually try to go with, best Laker of all time and really impact. If you really think about it, this is my top 5, and this is going to be controversial, but roll with me a little bit. Center, are we going position?
No,
I
just go straight by. Just go straight
Okay.
by.
So if you look at the most impactful 5, the biggest, like I'm going to go with all Laker only players. Are you counting Minneapolis as well?
I didn't.
So George Mikan was the first superstar of the NBA, and he was a career NBA Laker. He did play for a Chicago team when he was in the NBL, but that's it. Does that affect things? In the NBA, he was only a Laker. So I always put George Mikan in there with Jerry West, Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson, and then the 5th one's always kind of up in the air because who is the next all-time Laker? Right? Was it James Worthy? Is it Michael Cooper? Because Gail Goodrich didn't play with the Lakers his entire career. Jamal Wilkes didn't play with his team in his entire career. Kareem didn't. Shaq didn't. That's kind of how I usually play it. Plus impact. Again, George Mikan was the first NBA superstar, and he was a superstar for a decade. It wasn't like, he won a couple championships and that was it. He won 5 championships in 6 seasons. And if you factor in the NBL championship, he actually won 6 league championships during his career as a Minneapolis Laker. So I'm going to say I have 2 versions of the Lakers. Now, if we go all the way with this, with those who just in terms of name, so you got Kareem, you got Magic, Kobe, and then Shaq and Wilt, right?
Yeah, but
or do you put LeBron in there?
I feel like you have to put Shaq in there. I just feel like
you put LeBron in there. I mean, this is 8th season, right?
It is, but LeBron is great as a basketball player, but this is a Laker thing, and I feel like
hold on. You're right, but I think people are forgetting here. He's doubled his time in LA than when he was in Miami.
100%. No, 100. I think he's been a Laker longer than anything, right?
If you put Shaq into the thinking on this, John, you have to put LeBron as well.
No, 100%. But so what I'm saying is LeBron James, I'm taking LeBron James 10 times out of 10 over Shaq as a basketball player.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. You have to put LeBron in there. LeBron is a top 5 player of all time. And he played for the Lakers for 8 years. 8 is a long time, and he won a championship. So it's Kobe, Magic for sure, Kareem, LeBron, and Jerry West. That has to be the team.
Then you have to take out Jerry. You have to put Shaq in there, in my opinion.
We forgot about Elgin Baylor.
You just have to put Shaq in. You either, in my opinion,
about Elgin Baylor, who started all this, by the way.
Look,
Baylor was drafted in '59. A year before Jerry West, and he was a lifetime Laker.
I'll say this. I'm either taking out Jerry West or the other one. But Shaq's got to be in there. And if we throw Bron in there, that's cool with me too. We know where he stands as far as in the individual player. But if we're adding as a Laker, he's been a Laker for some time. But if we're adding LeBron in there, Shaq.
All-time Lakers is Kobe, Magic, Elgin, Jerry West, and George Mikan. If you want to be all Laker,
I like that.
Boom. Cool with me. There you go. I just put a button on it.
Button. There we go.
Yeah. Backdoor button.
Okay. Well, with that, we're going to put a button on this show 2 hours in. JY says the Stars are too easy. What's the best role players of all time? My gosh, that's another hour for the Lakers 5 position. My gosh. We'll have to dedicate a show to this again. I think we already did, Joe, in our many 1,500 shows I've done on this channel.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Shaq has to be ahead of LeBron.
Joe, I just fucking said that, Joe.
Yeah, I didn't hear anybody say it.
What the fuck, Joe? You don't listen.
I'm just kidding.
But JY, we'll have to do that on maybe like during the summer or whatnot. But because that's again, we've already I think traveled down this road before, Joe and I. But to have John's perspective in there, that would be really great to add that in as well. So
you have to put Shaq in there too. I mean, seriously, like Shaq has 3 Finals MVPs,
and he was a fucking beast. He was literally getting quadruple
between him and Wilt, and I mean, shit, you could put 5 centers.
And I love Wilt. He's on my top 5 all time, but I can't put him on the top 5 Lakers because he just wasn't here.
So it has to be 2 teams, guys, all time Lakers, and then the guys that were Lakers.
All right, so we'll do that one of these days, and we'll set it up for you guys. We'll probably get your list together. We'll ask for
Ross.
As far as the comments. But it is again the Lakers losing 124 to 112. Once again, the Lakers are now 23 and 14, 5th place in the Western Conference. Tomorrow, they play the Atlanta Hawks. Who will be there in the lineup? We don't know.
CJ.
We don't know.
CJ McCollum will.
Rui Hashimura is supposed to be playing because he was held out tonight. So look to see for him to come back.
Rui.
So, you know what's funny? I often, like, on the randomest times, think about that comment you made about how, like, Canadians probably hate the Japanese because of Rui and that Oshanti guy or whatever.
Well, that was a bad what, week?
For
the game winner, right? And then a week earlier, the Dodgers got waxed by Yamamoto.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was Yamamoto.
There's been pitchers that have won 3 games in the World Series. However, no one has ever won, at least in the modern game, because I don't know what happened in the 1800s, but they didn't even play the World Series back then, anyways. But no one has ever won. Like the last 3 games in Toronto had to watch Yamamoto whoop their ass in their crib. Like usually when they win 3 in a series, they win 1 at home, they win another 1 at home, then maybe they win 1 on the road. This guy only won games in Toronto during that series. Oh, they hated the Japanese.
The Japanese. Anyway,
Rui added probably the final death kill on that too. By the way.
Tufso says, John, we all got to take you to a baseball game.
Guys, in case people forgot, LeBron they used to call it LeBronto. LeBron has been a nightmare for Toronto since the beginning. He owns Toronto like Jordan owned the Knicks back in the 90s. They never beat Jordan. Like the Knicks never beat Jordan. Toronto never beat LeBron. So LeBron, the game-winning assist to the Japanese player after what Ohtani did to them in Game 3. I mean, come on, Japan is not. I think I would say there was a lot of cursing to Japan and Canada for a few weeks there.
So with that, once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate it. Check out Joe's latest experiment on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Check out the 3-minute report from John Costa on Lakers Corner on your social media. Check out here in just a little bit. If you're a member, I'm going to be dropping it off tonight as far as NBA observations, or it'll be showing up tomorrow for everyone else after the members get the first look at it. So I had a great conversation with Caleb Ponce, well over an hour of great conversation. So go ahead and check that out. But again, we'll be back tomorrow night. Hopefully John and Joe will be back because it is the Lakers post game with the Atlanta Hawks. Who will be there for the Lakers? We don't know. Maybe not Luka. Maybe not LeBron. Be Rui against the Hawks tomorrow. That'll be awesome to see. But for John Costa, Joe Soro, it's me, Joe Glassford. Thanks again for watching, listening. Please like and subscribe. There's many as 70 plus people on tonight. Please, if each and every one of you subscribe and like to the channel, it would really help us out. I was talking to some of the guys. I said, because YouTube changed the way they count views, all channels, but to a larger extent, the smaller channels out there are getting hit hard on their views. So really, it does help the channel if you like and subscribe. It really helps how they count a view, because they were very, in the past, I think it was like August or September when they changed it, because you saw a noticeable drop in views with channels across the board. And the stories had it that YouTube, aka Google, because of their very, how should I say, I guess, very nice way of counting a view, or like how they judged what a view is, what it was benefiting them as far as their advertisers are concerned. So maybe the advertisers put some heat on YouTube to reevaluate how they adjust a view. So we have never had the same kind of view count since that change was made, and I'll just leave it at that. And neither has yours, neither has John's, neither has any channel for that matter, because of the fact that it's not the same from what they counted as view earlier in 2025 to what they count it now. But hey, I mean, we're still grateful for you viewing what we're doing here, the Lakers Fast Break, Lakers Corner, and the Aux Experiment. But please help us all out by liking and subscribing so you can get the word out there to more people that hopefully will make up for that difference and join us as new viewers indeed. Sports, I don't know the exact amount of seconds, but I know it has changed. It definitely has changed. If you looked at what we were doing, I believe in June, July, August, and then it's the switch over, there is just night and day. Something happened to a whole bunch of channels, not just ours, in regards to what the view count was. And you could see comparatively what we were doing last year during the season to what we're doing this season. So we need your help. We need your help indeed. So any help is greatly appreciated. But for John Costa, Joe Soro, it's me, Joe Glassford. Thanks again for watching us. We truly appreciate you joining us. It is the Lakers losing, but we're coming back to you tomorrow. Will the Lakers still gut it out and get the win tomorrow at home against Atlanta? We'll find out as the Lakers Fast Break continues on this week right here at the Lakers Fast Break podcast.
No, don't say that. That sounds weird coming from you. I make it sound normal. You sound like you're getting backdoored.
Me?
Yeah. What the hell's the matter with you?
I would never get backdoored, Joe.
I'm not doing that.